Hello, fellow classmates. My name is Alejandro Figueroa, and I will be talking to you about the Paracas culture. Now, the Paracas culture was an Andean society that originated between approximately 800 BCE and 100 BCE. They were well known for their extensive knowledge of water management and irrigation, but mostly known for their highly significant contributions in the textile arts. The Paracas culture flourished in what we now call the Ica region of Peru. The Paracas culture grew and developed over time. The early phases of the Paracas culture was called Paracas Cavernas, and it's related to the Chavin culture, which was between 1000 and 400 BCE. Now, during this phase, the pottery was not well fired compared to its later phases. Also, the pottery was sometimes painted. The pottery really began to improve as culture reaches its early middle phase. The early middle phase was known as Paracas Pinilla and Paracas Necropolis, dating 1 to 400 AD. Now, the Great Paracas Necropolis was a burial ground discovered in 1920s, the South Pacific coast of the Central Andes. In this burial ground, mummified bodies were found with textiles, and these textiles were part of cloth used to wrap the mummified bodies that were found in the necropolis. These textiles included depictions of flying supernatural creatures that they are used to communicate the native belief of joining the afterlife. Now, here's a picture of the region as well. I'm going to add a picture of the necropolis. Now, members of the Pragas cultures worshipped the same god that were worshipped in the Chavin culture, the god Khan. Now, the god Khan provided food and water. They also worshipped the goddess named Urpehuacshak. Now, Urpehuacshak was the goddess to bring fish from the sea. She was also the wife of the god Pachacamac, which is the god of night and day. I couldn't find a picture of Urpehuacshak or Pachacamac, Pachacamac, but here's a picture of the god Khan. Now, another characteristic of the religion is the cult of the dead. The cult of the dead reflects a very deep and strong concern about maintaining a strong sense of tradition and ritual. They also left offerings for the people who have passed away, which is very similar to the traditions of present-day Mexico. The economy was very rough. They were in a desert in the Peruvian coast, and this meant it was extremely hot and there was very little rain. But because of their great knowledge in irrigation, they went ahead and used pipes to go ahead and grab the water from underground and bring it to the surface. Now, doing this and exposing the wet soils, they were able to cultivate food. And another thing that people of the Procton culture did was use fertilizer, which was a little bit very different at that time. Now, the people of the Paracas culture were great farmers. Their crops included beans, red peppers, peanuts, yucca, maize, and fish. They were also skilled crafters. They crafted their own weapons, jewelry, pottery, and textiles. Now, here are some pictures of the textile and the potteries. Textiles were used in most aspects of their culture. The textiles were often and mostly used for lore of their religious belief. They were also worn to show the status and authority of a person in the culture. The textiles also vary in size as well as color. Some textiles would require a large number of people because they would be made to a massive length. And the colors were usually very bright. They would use reds, blues, greens, but they also use darker colors such as brown and tans. The textiles were also made out of wool. Now, the Moroccan culture were a major influence in the foundation for later societies that developed in the Andes, and the Inca being one of these. Now, here's my works cited page. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.